You know, I slept here one time.
Here at Como Park?
Here in the zoo.
Wow! I'm going to learn more about that.
You are.
Hi, I'm Jeanne. Today I'm with Val Quarles. She's an urban scholar at the Metropolitan Council this summer. And we'll be talking to her about her job, and I want to learn more about this overnight at the park. How is it that you got to sleep overnight at Como Park?
I was part of a group called the Como Zoo Youth Engagement Program, where it was a lot of like being ambassadors to our local high schools and talking about recycling and stuff like that. But we did a retreat, and our last night, we went to a Saints game, and then we slept at the zoo. So if you've ever seen giraffes at 1 a.m., it's an incredible sight.
How did you get into improv?
I did an improv program at my middle school, where the high schoolers came in for about 6 weeks and taught really basic skills, and then someone there was recruiting for their summer program, and I joined that, did that for 4 years, led that for 2 years, and then once I was in high school I ended up teaching the middle school program, so it really came full circle. Improv really helped me come out of my shell as a little kid. I was very shy, I only wanted to read, I didn't want to talk to people, and I started doing improv and I wasn't very good at it, but I'd made a couple friends and I wanted to keep talking with them, so I continued, and as I got thrown in front of people and as I got more and more fearless and spontaneous, I found I really enjoyed it. And over the years, it's helped me grow as a person. It's helped me become a lot more confident in front of people. I have no problems walking up to strangers and stuff like that. Public speaking, it's just had so much of it has made me who I am, and I like who I am. So thanks, improv.
You're an urban scholar at the Metropolitan Council. What's an urban scholar?
A regular intern, except they also get a mentor, and they skip out on Fridays for professional development. So we do a lot of stuff with like leadership training and learning about equity, and sometimes we visit other sites to basically just further, make our experience well-rounded.
Your internship is split between two very different departments at the council. Are they connected in any way?
Yes, so Metro Transit Police Department started a group called the Homeless Action Team last November, and what their role is seeking out people who are using transit as shelter, people who are sleeping on the train at night, and connecting them to a federally funded voucher program that gets them rent assistance and a place to live. What the HRA does is the rest of it. So they're doing that paperwork, they're talking with landlords, they're helping tenants with that housing search.
What kinds of things are you learning?
When I graduate, I'd like to go into housing development, and I would like to make that housing affordable. And there are ways to do that both through design and through subsidy. It's been really interesting learning about the government side of things. I've learned about policy, I've learned about the really macro stuff, but to actually see where the rubber hits the road on how we get people rent assistance has been really invaluable. And that's with the HRA. And with the Metro Transit Police Department, everything is new. It was an unexpected part of my internship to be able to do that, and I've really enjoyed learning the ins and outs of what that's like.
Tell us about your experience riding the train at night with the Homeless Action Team.
It's been really hard at times because there have been situations that I would not normally be exposed to as someone who lives in the suburbs and is only in downtown St. Paul during the day and stuff like that. We ran into one family a couple weeks ago, and it was their very first night sleeping on the train. It was a dad and his 3 kids, and they were all pretty young. And the oldest girl was holding a takeout box, and one of the officers that I was with was like, "Oh, what do you got there? Food or something?" And she opens the takeout box, and there's a frog in there.
Oh my gosh!
That they've captured and made it their pet. His name was Todd. And I'm not going to forget, that family and Todd. For sure. So there are some really nice moments like that happen.
You said you're thinking about going into development. Tell us more about that.
So in college, I actually started out as an architecture major. I really wanted to build buildings and design buildings. And then I realized that an undergraduate degree in architecture is like a lot like art school, which I am not, didn't know if I was wired for, and it turns out I'm not. I really like the technical side of things a lot more. But I was still interested in the built environment. So my current academic makeup is My major is urban studies, which is a lot of that government and policy side, and then my minors are in architecture, so I can use some of those classes. And also in a field called public interest design, which is about like designing for the social good. So that kind of intersection of both policy and design principles is where development comes from.
What's your dream design project?
I've been learning a lot about sustainability in the past year and how that can be integrated into architecture in a really meaningful way. At the same time, I've been learning about the ways that we can bring rents down in multifamily buildings by integrating these sustainability concepts. So the kind of multifamily housing where the sustainability efforts are so strong that rents can actually be brought down without subsidy is kind of like my dream right now, which I know is, you know, not as glamorous as like other things, but it really makes me happy.
Cool. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for letting me take an afternoon off and come to Como.
Ah, yes, anytime. If you'd like to know more about Val's work or the work of the Metropolitan Council, visit our website at metrocouncil.org.